From Dominic's WWE debut in 2020 to a potential final showdown at SummerSlam, here's why the Mysterio family feud is far from over. It all started back in 2020 when Dominic made his WWE debut, teaming up with his legendary dad, Rey Mysterio. The Mysterios became the first ever father-son tag team champs in WWE history. And I'll be honest, they were really entertaining as far as face tag teams go, but trouble was brewing on the horizon. In 2022, we've got the Judgment Day stable, with Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley, and Damian Priest feuding with the Mysterios and Edge. But at Clash of the Castle, things got totally out of control. Rey and Edge joined forces to take on Judgment Day in an epic showdown, and the good guys emerged victorious. But out of nowhere, while celebrating their victory, Dominic hit Edge with a low blow right in the nuts. And when Rey tried to intervene, Dom turned on him and attacked like a savage beast. The betrayal was real. Dominic had gone heel, and the next day he demanded that his father step up and face him in the ring. But Rey, being the caring dad that he is, refused to fight his own flesh and blood. So what does Rey do? He pulls a Houdini and transfers to SmackDown. Out of sight, out of mind, right? But let me tell you, escape from the family feud was easier said than done. Dom clearly had a bone to pick with his pops, and he wasn't going to let it go. He skipped Thanksgiving gatherings with his family like it was no big deal, started cozying up with the fiery Rhea Ripley, and joined forces with Judgment Day. It was like a soap opera on steroids. At this point, Dom was doing everything in his power to set up a match with Rey. We've all heard of people having daddy issues, but for Dominic, his dad was the only issue. The two had to come face to face eventually, and they did, but it was behind the scenes. Rey was scheduled to compete in the 2023 Royal Rumble match, while Dominic wasn't. And this is when it got really heated. Things literally went from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. As Rey was preparing to enter the match backstage, Dom blindsided him and left him incapacitated. Of course, this wasn't shown on TV, so the viewers had no idea, but it was clear that Dom had attacked his father. When Rey's entrance music finally hit during the match, it was actually Dominic who walked out, and to further rub salt in the wound, he had the audacity to strut out wearing Rey's iconic mask. Rey, bless his heart, still didn't want to throw down with his son and insisted that he didn't want to fight Dom no matter what. But in March, everything reached boiling point on one fateful episode of SmackDown. When Rey brought his wife and daughter to see the event up close, something he's done many times before. When Dominic stepped into the ring and grabbed the mic, things took a turn for the worst. He went into full-on verbal attack mode, disrespecting his entire family, who were sitting right there in the crowd. That's when Rey finally had enough and snapped. What happened next was an explosive moment that had the WWE Universe gasping. Rey jumped into the ring, launched himself at Dominic, fists flying, and challenged him to a match on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. So what happened at WrestleMania? Let's just say we were all very entertained. Things turned sour from the get-go when Rey sent Dominic into the ring post and attacked him with a belt. I guess the 619 wasn't enough for Rey, and he needed to up the ante with some leather. Dominic taunted his own family in the front row, proving that blood isn't always thicker than water, especially in the world of professional wrestling. Then to make things even more interesting, Finn Balor and Damian Priest showed up at ringside to support their Judgment Day teammate, Dominic. Talk about team spirit, these guys take loyalty to a whole new level. But Rey's new team, Legado del Fantasma, joined the fray and attacked both Balor and Priest. It was complete chaos. It was like watching a Royal Rumble in the middle of a father-son match. Dominic gave his dad a run for his money, performing his own 619 and frog splash for a near fall. But things took a turn when Dominic obtained a chain from Priest's blazer. Uh-oh, that can't be good. Luckily, Bad Bunny, who was serving as a guest Spanish commentator, saved the day by snatching the chain from Dominic. Wow, I have so many questions. In the end, Rey proved he was still the king of the Mysterio family by performing his own 619, frog splashing on Dominic to win the match. And to make things even sweeter, Rey embraced his family in the ring, proving that even in the world of WWE, family always comes first. So was that it for the feud? Well, not quite. After the jaw-dropping match, Rey decided to form a brand new group called the LWO, short for the Latin World Order. Yeah, I know the name screams 90s nostalgia, but hey, who doesn't love a good throwback? Rey rounded up some heavy hitters for this crew, including the man himself, Bad Bunny. He wouldn't have won the WrestleMania match without him, so it makes sense. But the LWO wasn't just a Mysterio family affair. They roped in Santos Escobar, Zelina Vega, Joaquin Wilde, and Cruz del Toro, forming a powerhouse faction. It was like the Latino Avengers assembling, ready to take on the world, or at least ready to take on Judgment Day. And man, did the feud heat up from there. Bad Bunny found himself in a sizzling rivalry with Damian Priest, because apparently being a chart-topping artist isn't enough for the Bunny, and he had to add WWE superstar to his resume too. Meanwhile, Ripley and Vega had their own personal vendetta going on, so it's as if the feuds just kept multiplying. And of course, Ray's feud with Dom is still on, Dom's still talking smack, and he even brought up that storyline. You know the one I'm talking about, but for those who don't know, I'll give you the details. Back in the early 2000s, there was a storyline in WWE where Eddie Guerrero claimed to be Dom's real father. It was wild, to say the least, and Ray and Eddie were in a heated feud at the time, with Eddie using Dominic to get under Ray's skin. It all culminated in a custody of Dominic ladder match at SummerSlam 2005. I'm not even kidding. A ladder match to settle a child custody issue. Eddie won the match, but in the end he gave custody back to Ray because he realized that he couldn't take a child away from his real father. It was a bizarre yet emotional moment, but fast forward to now, and Dom's still using that storyline to trash talk Ray. Dom recently said that he attributes much of his success to his father, but not Ray. He's referring to his real father, Eddie Guerrero. That's a potshot, even for a heel like Dominic, but you've got to hand it to him. He knows how to get heat from the crowd. Ray and Dominic may be keeping their distance for now, but that doesn't mean the saga's over. Oh no, the WWE's not ready to let go of this juicy storyline just yet. They're milking it like a cash cow, and we're all eagerly waiting for the next chapter. Currently, Ray's busy competing in a high-stakes tournament for the World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, can you believe it? The master of the 619 going for the top prize? But let's be real here. The odds are stacked against him. Seth Rollins is already confirmed as a finalist. And it's hard to imagine Ray coming out on top. Don't get me wrong, I love Ray. But this tournament seems like a mountain he can't climb. I think the writers are trying to buy some time for Ray and Dominic to do other things. And in the meantime, they're also building up and rejuvenating the feud. Dom's still out there running his mouth and talking about Ray every chance he gets. It's like he's got a personal vendetta that just won't let up. And you know what that means, right? It means things are about to heat up real quick. It's only a matter of time before we see these two go at it one more time. And what better stage for a showdown than the grandest party of the summer, SummerSlam. That's definitely the angle WWE seems to be going for. After all, Eddie versus Ray was also at SummerSlam, so revisiting the pay-per-view would be simply perfect. And you know what I think is going to happen? Dom's going to win. I don't think Ray would love anything more than to lose to his son, giving him his first win at a major event like SummerSlam. It'd be the start of Dom turning into a star. And who knows, we might even see him turn into a good guy once again. So, from a potential final showdown at SummerSlam to Dominic's WWE debut in 2020, that's why the Mysterio family feud is far from over.